Do you know how many people die each year because of brake failure? Neither do we. The brake provides tension which puts downward pressure on the block of ice, causing it to shave. If the brake is loose, the ice won't shave, and if the brake is too tight, the motor will be overworked. To adjust the brake, remove the black rubber plug in the front of the head cover. Behind the plug is a flathead screw that adjusts the tension of the brake. To start, raise your main shaft, then with a flathead screwdriver, turn the screw counterclockwise to loosen it until the main shaft falls on its own. To tighten the brake to the desired tension, turn the brake adjustment screw clockwise 2.5 times. This will create the right pressure to shave perfect ice and preserve your motor. This should be done regularly because as the brake wears down, it will slowly loosen and need to be retightened. We recommend adjusting your brake every time you change your blade. If your brake wears down too much, it should be replaced. While a worn-out brake in your shaver may not send you careening off a cliff, it's important, regular maintenance that should be done on your machine. As I mentioned before, a good rule of thumb is to check and readjust your brake every time you change your blade. To get to the brake, you need to remove the ice block holder crank and then the head cover. To replace the brake, loosen the brake all the way using your flathead screwdriver. Then, using a number 13 metric wrench, remove the brake shoe bracket by undoing the bolts. This looks easy, but sometimes looks can be deceiving. Once done, you can completely remove the bracket and brake assembly. This is the brake that I just pulled out, and here's the spring. Or here's the spring. Oh, no, here's the spring. Hey, there's the spring. Remove the spring and brake shoe and replace them with new ones. We recommend replacing your spring every time you get a new brake, so that way the proper pressure is applied to the brake. Align the bracket so that the brake shoe straddles the brake drum, then bolt it down. To finish, adjust the new brake. Put your ice block holder crank on, tighten the brake a couple times to put some tension on the brake drum, crank the main shaft up, loosen the brake until the main shaft falls freely, then tighten the brake 2.5 turns for the proper amount of tension. The last thing to do is grease your worm gear and remove old grease if needed. First, take a paper towel and clean the grease off the brake gear drum. Hold the paper towel on the drum and crank the main shaft up and down a couple times. Now that the old grease and excess grease are cleaned off, reapply a small amount of new food grade grease. Add a small dab to any or anyone's finger and place it on the drum, then crank the main shaft up and down again to spread the grease evenly. You want to apply grease like it's chapstick. Don't get crazy, just a thin layer.